Hi, and welcome to Carolina Varsity's 2015 look at the MeCKa Conference. I'm Dale Ross.
I'm the pet man, Matt Martin.
And here we are back for the 2015 season, and we are back. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a rundown of the MeCKa Conference. And I just thought that the first thing I'd do is do what the projections are out of the Carolina Varsity North Carolina High School report. And this projecting Mallard Creek first, Huff second, Vance third, Brown fourth, North Mecklenburg fifth, West Charlotte sixth, and Hopewell seventh.
I think that's pretty interesting. Once again, that's based on last year's data. I think some of those will change and move around. I see you've got some predictions there.
Yep, so I'll just throw out what I think is going to happen. I think Mallard Creek's your clear-cut best team in the state right now. You have to put them there. They're a better team than they were last year. I think my number two team's Vance, and I've got them highlighted. And the reason I've got them highlighted is they're kind of a dark horse in that if anybody in the state's going to challenge Mallard Creek, it's going to be Vance. I don't know if Vance can beat Mallard Creek. Vance is better than they were last year, but I think Mallard Creek's a whole lot better. Then I got A.L. Brown. I think Huff's going to fall down. They've lost a lot of players. There's been some coaching shift around, so there's some relearning, readjustment of people there.
Mm-hmm.
West Charlotte, I think I've got West Charlotte highlighted because, again, I think they're going to be a little bit of a surprise team, maybe. Maybe give us a little bit more than what we've been seeing out of them the last few years. North Meck, and I think, with Hopewell, Coach Gray, we got a new coach over there, Coach Charlie Gray. He was at Mallard Creek, the offensive line coach.
Mm-hmm.
He came from Mallard Creek. He's going to be there rebuilding that program. And just my thoughts, I think Mallard Creek is the team to beat. They got a lot of talent, a number of ball players, especially a big linebacker that I think is like number 3 in the state. Let me just look at that real quickly. The 247 Sports has Josh Brown as the number 3 player in the state. He's a beast, and of course they've got Corey Sutton over there now.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that's going to be a big big thing. There's been a little bit of talk on the side about that, and then they got a big tight end in Moss, and so they've got a number of other players that I think.
Yeah, with Mallard Creek, like you said, they're the obvious 4AA state championship favorites. They're loaded across the board with talent. You look at almost every position, they've got someone that's going to play on the next level. Quarterback, the one you didn't mention, James Smith.
Yep.
Very talented, very accurate throwing the ball. He's got some ability to get out of the pocket and run with the ball also. I think their keys, 2 big keys. Number 1, obviously staying healthy. And then number 2, offense coordinator. Coming back to Mallard Creek, that was there, initially with Coach Paul Mary. Coach Paul Mary runs the defense, no changes there. As long as they can gel offensively with that kind of talent, there shouldn't be a lot of issues doing that. They're the favorite to get things done here.
They've got bigs. That's one of the key things I think in high school, to have a good offensive line.
Oh yeah.
And this is one of the biggest lines I think they've had. I don't know, somebody could correct me on that, but they got some huge ball players. Very solid. They've always been solid on the offensive line. They have a new offensive line coach, but if you got a line like that, lots of things can happen for you. They got a very, very solid front 7 on defense.
Oh yeah.
So I think the team to beat, and Vance, I think can challenge them a little bit with. I think Vance will be going more towards the air this year. It's going to be interesting to see.
New quarterback at Vance.
New quarterback, and his brother is one of the wide receivers.
Don't get no better than that.
So, and they've got actually one of the better wide receivers in the area, Miles Dorn.
Mm-hmm.
Very good ball player. I was very impressed with him last year. And if he does get the ball thrown to him more this year, I think you're going to see some good things out of that kid. So
Let me say something about Vance.
Yeah.
We know Coach Brand's a great offensive mind. He's proved that time and time again. They're going to have a new defensive coordinator. I think that's going to be the key for them. They went small 4A last year, and they're going to be right close to that line again. Or do they go big, or do they go small? If they go small, they can make a run.
Yeah.
And make another deep run when they played Catholic in that classic game over there in the playoffs last year. Sure, they would love to see them again and get a shot at revenge. Hopefully it'll happen, because that'd be great for us. But you talk about Vance and Mallard Creek. I think you can match talent with talent there. Mallard Creek's got a lot, but Vance can hold their own, and that's going to make for a really great game down the line.
Yeah, I think the big difference there would be depth between the two. Mallard Creek's got more depth, and Mallard Creek's got a little bit bigger guys on the line. So that's going to be a classic game, I think, when those two meet this year. So it's on my calendar to go to. It was a phenomenal game last year. One of the best ball games I've seen in a long time, hardest hitting ball games. So I think it's going to be an interesting year just to see where the rest of the guys can, shake out in the conference.
Yeah, you mentioned A.O. Brown. They're going to have a returning quarterback and running back in Coach Newsom's offense, and he's multiple offensively. You can see anything from a traditional wing T set to a spread look from Coach Newsom, and to have people coming back in that kind of offense with that experience is going to make them dangerous. That key is going to be their defense. If their defense comes through, don't be surprised if they can pull an upset. Maybe advance, or maybe stressing it with Mallard Creek. But
well, their problem last year was defense. Yeah, they gave up a lot of points. They scored a lot of points.
Yeah, they did.
So they play Thursday night against Concord in the Bell game, and I'm hoping I can get back. I'm traveling on business. I'm hoping I can get back in time to make that game. But they open the season with a Concord at Kannapolis, and
if you're going, it's going to be packed. So get there early.
Well, it's a Thursday night, so it's going to be interesting to see how much that impacts the crowd. It's usually a huge crowd. You can see 5,000-6,000 people on a Friday night. I'm not sure what we'll see on a Thursday night, but you definitely want to get there early. I think that game could tell us a lot about where Brown's going to go this year.
I agree.
Yeah. The rest of the guys, like I say, West Charlotte, new coach, a new situation over there. I think they have a kid that actually showed up on 247 Sports. It's a tackle, Marlon Dunlap.
Yeah, I remember facing him last year at Harding. He's a really big, strong kid. Uses his hands well. It's hard to run the ball at him. He's a very good player. It's probably going to be a linchpin in their defense. Coach Darren Hart's the new coach over there. Former defense coordinator at Winston-Salem State. So defense is going to be his calling card early on. So expect, West Charlotte to especially be stronger on the defensive side as he puts his offensive, game plan into motion. They lose the back Greer that was really talented for them the last couple of years. So it's going to be interesting to see who steps up, offensively for West Charlotte as they continue rebuilding that program. They had a good season, got in the playoffs last year. We all know about Mo Collins passing. They're still, recovering from that. But Mo put a lot of good things in place, and hopefully Coach Hart can keep that going with that tradition they have.
Exactly. North Mecklenburg, number of down years for North Meck.
I'll tell you about North Meck. I saw him I didn't see him in person, obviously. We didn't play him at Harding, but I saw him on film a couple of times. They are real aggressive on defense. That impresses me with them. And Coach Baker, Brad Baker's been there a couple of years now. If they can get their offense going consistently, I think that could be a team to watch, because they have some talent. They've put some talented guys out there. I think they're a dark horse. Honestly, I think they could finish anywhere. They could be as high as 4th here, and they could challenge A.O. Brown as long as their defense continues to be aggressive and make plays, because they really push the envelope on that side.
Well, I saw them against Huff last year, and it was a very tough ball game, a very close ball game. I thought North played very well in that ball game and well enough to win it, but it's a tough situation over there for them with getting enough players out on the field with enough talent. Is
And
to compete
that's been the
in this
challenge
conference.
with
Yeah.
all those schools opening up, in the northern part of the city or the county, I should say, pulling away from north, taking from them.
Yeah.
They've kind of had to recover from that. But, I think Coach Baker's got them going on the right track.
And of course, Hopewell, new coach. I think he's a good man. I think well, we'll see if he's a good head coach. It's another step. It's a big step going to being a head coach. Even to being a coordinator is one thing, but then being a head coach is another. So those are big steps, and you can be have a great football mind, and understand the game very well. But to be able to organize and lead, that's a whole different element. That I think he's got the leading part. We'll see if he's got the organizational part, and then the final thing is going to be obviously getting the players, having the talent.
And that's the thing with Hopewell. Hopewell had a lot of seniors last year, and obviously those guys graduated out. So it's going to be sort of a building situation. But the good thing is you kind of have a clean slate to work with. You can really implement your style, the way you want to lead your program, and that's one of the appealing things about this situation here. Like you said about their offensive line, they're very technically sound. They were fundamental when he had them at Mallard Creek. I expect the same thing over at Hopewell, and expect those kids to play hard. At Hopewell, you do get some talent, but it's going to be a bit of a building situation, at the moment.
Right. Give him 3 years is what he needs. And of course, he needs support from the administration. He needs kids to come out and play football. It's a whole bunch of things that he needs to win there. But, we've seen Hopewell in the past put together some formidable teams. When the school first opened up, it wasn't too long after that, they had some decent teams, no state title challenging teams, but
you had Mike Bradley was the head coach over there for a couple of years, and
Yeah.
Chris Rust came in.
Yeah.
They had some teams that made the playoffs a couple times.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's definitely possible over there. You've seen some success.
Exactly. So give him time to work things out. New coach, he's got things to learn, and he's got a lot of stuff to implement, and it's going to take time to get those young kids rolling on the right track.
Yeah, and you mentioned Huff. Coach Aldridge is back again. We talked about, them losing. They had a ton of talent. Those guys graduated. They're playing on the next level right now, doing well. You also mentioned some coaching changes over there.
Mm-hmm.
So, Coach Aldridge being back leading the program is good, but they're going to have to make some adjustments. Some new guys that are young, they have talent in key positions. You got to see how fast it's going to come together. But expect them to still be respectable. Coach Aldridge has had a lot of success, in the places he's been, and they come off a really good season they had, last year. But there's going to be some changes, so it may take a little time early on to get those things going. But once they're going, they're going to be in the mix.
And they have one of the best defensive players in the not just in Charlotte, but in the state, and Marquell Osborne.
Mm-hmm.
He's going up to Tennessee. I think that's still his commit is to Tennessee. So
Very good.
So cornerback, a very good ball player. So it'll be interesting to see. I think from the high finish that they had last year, I do expect to see them drop some. We'll just see how much they drop. That's the whole question. Or do they drop it all? Might surprise us. Things happen.
That's right. That's why it's high school football. You gotta love it.
Exactly. And here we go. So games start Thursday night at A.O. Brown, and then a bunch of games Friday night, and we got that big game Saturday night between Mallard Creek and Independence. So I'll be at that game. You gonna be there?
I'll do my best to be there.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
we'll be there at Memorial Stadium Saturday. We'll be somewhere Friday night. Hadn't decided yet. Take care. Hope you guys enjoy your games.